Well, hey, every idiot on the planet has a podcast today, and we are certainly
not
dumb
us?
enough to compete with the best of them.
Okay. Well, Fight Club Rejects podcast, working title.
Here we go.
Episode 1. Starting with what was going to be, I think, the most watched fight in the history of fighting sports, UFC
It
303.
would have broken certainly every MMA record. I am
Yeah.
very ignorant about, boxing history.
Yeah.
But who cares about boxing anyway?
Yeah.
Honestly.
There wasn't nearly enough blood.
It would have broken every record for sure.
Yeah, I think they broke the gate record like months before the fight with something like 22 million or something like that. For context, your shirt Louisville broke a fight night record. Did you know that?
I did.
And it was like 2.5 million. So literally a smaller arena did 10 times more at the gate like months before the fight was even going to happen. So
which makes sense because we had pretty good seats at UFC Louisville, and we would have probably had to take out loans to be able to afford to be at 303.
Yeah, I would have been turning tricks for sure. So just made sense to start this thing with UFC 303 with McGregor, Chandler, and like great storylines to follow, great drama.
Well, and also, it's the perfect time to start it, but like the genesis of this originally, right, was watching UFC 300
right.
with some of our idiot friends who, knew nothing about it. And so they don't care about somebody Granby rolling into, whatever. They want to know about the soap opera drama of, So we did this idiotic presentation, and we're like, man, we should make a presentation this stupid for all of the pay-per-views.
For everybody. Yeah,
took a couple, but here we are.
It is kind of wild to think that this is just now 303 happening this weekend, and we did 300. Like, It just seems like a lot of time's passed. But, supposed to be Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, two great fighters coming to blows. McGregor taking forever.
Comes to multiple different kinds of blow, actually.
Well, that's what I had written in here in the notes, was that McGregor couldn't keep his head out of a bowl of blow. And so, how long has it been since McGregor last fought? Do you know?
It's been a long time since I've used copious amounts of blow myself, but I don't remember how that could possibly affect the color of my pinky toe.
Okay. Well, hey. He did copious amounts of blows before this, causing allegedly causing the fight to be like severely delayed. Let's see here. When was the last time he fought? He fought Poirier in 2021. In July,
I was going to say it
2021.
was about, almost 3 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have an absolutely horrific injury that he then used, took advantage of all the different options that he had to heal it and all that. And so that took him out of the USADA pool for a while. And
yes, correct. Yeah. Okay. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
On that secret juice.
Yeah. I'm trying to frame up Conor as a guy who went and found help. Conor would have you believe that he's a little bitch. So Conor couldn't keep his head out of a bowl of blow coming back. McGregor Chandler.
You really struggle with the name Michael Chandler.
I need to say Chandler McGregor. I think that would be easier to say. Back on Tough, The Ultimate Fighter, the Ultimate Fighting reality TV show. Their coaches, they come to blows a couple times in the series. And as the tradition with that series goes, they're supposed to fight at the end of it as the headliner of pay-per-view. And delayed. Finally, the fight is on.
Gosh, when did that season even start? That was...
Yeah, that's a good question.
More than a year ago?
It had to be last season, right?
They do 2 seasons a year, so maybe it wasn't a full year ago. But it was... a long time.
That was 2023. Yeah, last year. Yeah. May through August. Yeah, and if you don't watch it, it's just an incredible television show. It's like all of my favorite things, trashy reality TV, like blood, fighting, it's amazing. So,
it's wonderful. We've actually said, Dana, call us, that he should do another version of the show that is The Ultimate Fighter, but a little less serious, taking some cues from Are You the One? So all the fighters sleep on 30 twin mattresses pushed together in one room. The lights are on 24/7. They're given very little food, but as much alcohol as they want, and then they fight. I mean,
and then they fight.
It's good TV.
The only water they're allowed to have, it has to have caffeine or alcohol in it.
Yes.
So
exactly. Which I mean, that would probably help with cutting weight, right?
That's how that works. Would. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that and cocaine, which is probably what Connor was trying to do. So, so the fight was on, and then, long story short, McGregor hurt his little toe, and Chael. Well, we can link to the video where Chael-san and Uncle Chael breaks down what's going on with Conor McGregor's little toe, and for whatever reason he can't fight. So, our consolation prize instead is Alex Pereira. Oh man, I wish I had a Perrier. San Pellegrino instead. Alex Pereira, as Chael would say, and Yuri Prohaska, which we'll get into here in a second. And then,
I don't even feel right calling that a consolation prize. Like, are there names as big as McGregor for, people who don't follow mixed martial arts? Certainly not, and neither of them are as entertaining on a mic. But I mean, what a great Piera is entertaining when he doesn't talk. I mean, he doesn't even have to say a word to be entertaining. But they're just like two larger than life personalities that feel like they're both out of like a Mortal Kombat video game.
Yeah. And I would say Yuri is just like a cartoon character from a Disney Pixar film.
Yes.
Meets UFC fighter. So he probably would be pretty good on the mic opposite like McGregor. Chandler is very intense. I was just saying the other day.
Being a native English speaker.
Yeah, that's true. I was saying to you the other day, though, I sent you a video of Michael Chandler, and I was like, this dude is just like so freaking weird. He's so intense, dude. It's weird. It's like it gets cringy after a certain point. He's hiking through the woods, holding his cell phone out, recording himself like, I just have to go get what's mine. I have to go take what's mine. I earned it. You got to go earn it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Put the camera down, bro. He is an entertainer. I know what it's supposed to do. I get it. I was just like cringing the whole time.
Yeah, I think you have to be insanely driven, to the point of coming off a little, like Connor says, like, I've lost my mind on this game, whatever, to be at the highest level of anything, you have to be a little bit insane. I mean, there's not a person we're going to talk about tonight that's a just level-headed, insane person. Or level-headed, sane person.
I think that what you said was probably true as well. Yeah, I don't know. I think CTE is a real bitch, so. So, do you want to talk about how the co-main event fell to pieces? This one is like, if McGregor Chandler falling through was bad, this is like epic UFC.
Honestly, it shows how much of a casual I am. I didn't really know or remember most of the storyline here until you kind of laid it out for me. So you should probably be the one to talk about it. But the short version is, in this one fight we are on now, our fourth and fifth person involved in the fight. Both of the original people are gone. One of the replacements is gone.
We need like a Are You the One, or one of those reality TV show things where they're talking about the relationships and you have talking heads and X's and arrows and stuff, because it's almost that crazy. So the fight was going to be between Jamahal Hill, Sweet Dreams, and Khalil Roundtree. What's Khalil Roundtree's nickname?
Junior.
I'm sure that's right. So
I don't know.
I don't know. So John Mahal Hill is, man, I want to like him, but I just think I hate him. Did he come up on Tough?
Oh gosh, I think he was the first Contender Series alum champion, right?
Oh, he definitely came up on a reality,
let me double check that.
Like UFC reality series show, and he became the light heavyweight champ, and then he tore his Achilles, completely unrelated, playing basketball. They actually have a video of it of his Achilles exploding. You don't see much, but it is kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, that was in our 300 presentation.
Like yes, it was. Yes, and then
I just confirmed, by the way, he was on the Contender Series.
The Contender Series, yeah, and then he fought Alex Pereiro during UFC 300 and lost in about 37 seconds.
It was pretty quick, but not without at least some controversy, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess Pereira stepped on his foot, and and he kicked it.
Well, there was that, and like the Herb Dean or whoever it was, I think it was Herb Dean, being waved off and kind of, I mean, protect yourself at all times, right? But he'll definitely kind of let his guard down for a second, it appeared, and then boom, Alex stepped on the lead foot and then just clocked him with that left hook that is, I mean, it's such a good submission, it earned him his black belt in jiu-jitsu, right? That thing is lights out.
And so I have in the notes here John Mahal to talk about his embarrassment to a rock statue, which is what Pereiro is. So I'm going to keep pronouncing his name different ways throughout the thing. I will say
works for Uncle Chael.
It's worth mentioning that John Mahal started shit talking like almost immediately after the fight.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks that he was doing fine. He doesn't have much of an opinion on what Herb Dean did. He took no damage. Most of the fall was me falling down. I remember everything, looking up, seeing his legs, coming. I don't know. So there's a storyline. They might fight again or something.
Cry from our noble samurai warrior Yuri Prohajka, who, after losing to Alex, and he won round one, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yuri won all 3 of the judges' scorecards for round one.
For sure.
And then he's kind of hitting Alex with some shots, got caught, goes down, tries to wrestle, and it was criticized as a little bit of an early stoppage. And instead of complaining and talking afterward, Yuri was like, "No, I was hurt. It was a good stoppage. I will be back stronger. Now I will go beat myself with poison ivy and meditate in a cave."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you gotta love it and respect it.
Yeah, and instead, John Mahal Hill's talking about, I didn't feel no. Oh yeah, okay. He's a real hateable guy. I think he gets it. So anyway, Khalil Roundtree pulls out. Interesting reason why he pulled out. He pulled out because he unintentionally ingested a steroid or some kind of banned substance, and then he told the anti-doping compliance people that it happened, and he's suspended only 2 months. It's usually a lot longer than that, as it confirmed he received a tainted substance. But because he fessed up, he only had a 2-month suspension, so I don't know how that works. But replaced by Carlos Olberg, and then Hill, I think, was afraid of Olberg, so he made up an injury to pull out with, and he was replaced by
Jamal Hill has been getting bodied so far on this podcast. It's a good thing that we have no fame or viewers whatsoever right now, because people would be coming after us. We're gonna make enemies.
Yeah. And not the least of which potentially John Mahal Hill. So that would not be a good person to see at my doorstep. So
no.
So John Mahal Hill pulls out with an injury, replaced by the Lionheart Anthony Smith, because he thinks that he can still win fights, I guess. And then Olberg pulled out due to unknown reasons. Reed, scared little bitch. And replaced by I actually don't know this guy. Roman Dolidze. Is that how you say it? Dolidze? Yeah, so you could talk about him, but I just thought that was amazing. So we went from from Hill Roundtree to Hill Olberg to Olberg Smith to Smith Dolidze.
And here we are.
And so that tees up UFC 303.
Well,
Derek, take it away.
So, not much to say about Anthony Smith. He's been in the game a long time. Like you said, he did have an impressive win recently. So who knows? Yeah, we will see, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to fight him. And then True. I wouldn't want to fight the lowest ranked person in the women's strawweight division, frankly. But Roman Dolidze, I don't know a whole lot about him either, honestly. He's from Georgia, the country, not the state. So he's like a,
of course,
Russia adjacent, very like Christian nation, not like redneck America. He's very hairy. That's
do you know
about.
Do you know what his nickname is?
I do not.
I think you're gonna like this. I'm gonna just double check because the app is a little bit different than the website for Verdict. We use Verdict for like everything, but Roman Dolidze is the Caucasian.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, you gotta wonder how that.
He's from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah. Did it come over? So, who knows? So this guy's had a couple of losses in a row. UFC 286 to Marvin Vettori. And then a fight night where he was the headliner against... Wow, this was recently, actually. I forgot about this. Against... Imam... How do you say this guy's name?
Is this the gentleman that we just saw fight in
UFC
Louisville?
That's why I was like stumbling over this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe, actually. Imavov. Is that who we saw?
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
Nasruddin. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, nice. Thank you for the support there. So he lost in a majority decision. So
okay. It would be we would be remiss to not briefly touch on the now co-main event because I think John Mahal Roundtree was originally the co-main, but now Smith Dolidze has been bumped down to number 3, the feature bout. But the co-main event, Brian T. City Ortega, jiu-jitsu extraordinaire, against Diego Lopez, also very good at jiu-jitsu. So I'm excited for that matchup.
The best haircut in MMA.
I was just about to say, I mean, Ortega's got pretty great hair himself. Frankly, I think both of these guys need to call Alexander Volkov's corner from last weekend and get some, intra-fight combing hair tips from them, right?
Yeah, so I had a buddy with car trouble when that was happening. I only saw it on Twitter, but can you, was it happening, were they showing it live during the broadcast?
Yes. It was incredible.
He's in the changeover.
I think we need to just take that and run with it. I want to see I don't even know what you call them, the things that ladies sit in hair salons with the giant dome around their head. I want to see one of those come in. And is that just a hairdryer? I don't know what it does.
I think it's just a hairdryer.
Some magic happened in there,
I don't know.
But
and the things that the foot baths.
Yeah, with the little fish that eat the dead skin off your foot.
Have you seen?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, where they'll take lettuce. And they'll put lettuce in warm water and leave it for a while, and then you'll go back and look at all of the bugs that are in the lettuce that you buy, because they all swim out in the water.
It's disturbing.
Just imagine what would happen if you dunked a UFC fighter's feet in that water during the round as their feet were touching that bloody nasty mat. What would come out?
I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then loser has to drink the foot water.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be rough. You'd be out for a couple of months probably with, diverticulitis or something like that. I don't really know what causes that. I just know that that's what took out Brock Lesnar. He struggled with diverticulitis multiple times. And
he drank foot water?
No.
Oh.
I just assumed that it would lead to something that terrible. But Anyway, Ortega versus Lopez, great jiu-jitsu, great hair. Lopez, not so great tattoo in my opinion, but the hair makes up for it. So, should be pretty awesome.
Arguably the worst tattoo in MMA.
I'm a personal fan of Darren the Damage Elkins chest tattoo that says "The Damage" in like Frankenstein stitching. That one is maybe cool. Be my vote for. If I had to pick one of like, I do not want tattooed on me.
And make it happen. Oh yeah, that's bad, dude.
That reminds me of Bisping when he's like, dream, believe, achieve, whatever. He was making fun of somebody, I don't remember, but...
have you seen the dog that looks like Diego Lopez?
I don't know. Send it to me.
Yeah, I'm sending it over to you so you can react to this in real time.
Okay. Where are you sending it?
I can't find it.
Does this even have a chat function? Oh yeah,
it does have a chat function. Yeah, dude.
Riverside.
Only the best.
I'm learning about this now for the first time. The next fight, we already talked about Smith, Dolidze. The next one after that, women's bantamweight bout, Mayra Bueno Silva. I've heard her name before. Macy, I've heard her name before, but talking about Macy Barber, an entirely different female fighter in the UFC. Don't really know Macy Chia-sun. So,
let's look up.
Should probably educate myself more on that.
They don't have nicknames for these.
Then we have Ian Machado Gary. Ian Machado the Future Gary. Does he go by Ian Machado the Future Gary or Ian the Future Machado Gary?
Oh, dude, that's a hard question. It's probably Ian
the future Machado Gary. See, that sounds like he's marrying into the Machado Gary family and he will become a Machado Gary at some point. Down the road. But anyway.
Well, but if it was Ian Machado, the future Gary, then it would sound like he's marrying into the Gary family and he's going to replace Machado with Gary. Yeah. Which would actually work.
His situation is so convoluted that almost any of it would make more sense than what's really going on there. So
fill me in, set it up, and then you're going to have to fill me in on why we went from liking Ian to like hating him now.
This is a family-friendly podcast, so we can't get into everything there. But when a man and woman love each other and they get married, there are things. But then, so I honestly I don't even know what's true and what's not. But basically, Ian is like 27-ish years old. His wife is like 40. She wrote a book 10 years ago called like How to Be a Wag, which stands for Wives and Girlfriends. So like basically be the sugar baby of a rich athlete, right? And so she is criticized for I said sugar baby.
What is it? Is it a sugar baby if you're older?
A sugar baby is the recipient of a sugar daddy.
Yeah, but it's usually the recipient because they're so much younger. But she's saying that she's older and she wants to date. Yeah.
A sugar baby mommy? She is his baby mom. I don't know. We'll have to, Maybe if we ever get somebody else that watches this podcast, they can let us know in the comments what they think about that.
Maybe it's a sugar grandma.
Sugar grandma. But anyway, so we liked Ian Gary. It felt in some ways like he was capitalizing on Conor's popularity. The Irish accent sounds pretty great on the mic. Ian has some talent on the mic. He is entertaining when you listen to him talk. But yeah, so the whole situation with his wife being so much older and writing a book on how to trap athletes, which she says was satire, it was a little weird. But then also
wrote an entire book, but trust me, it's satire.
But then there's also the angle of Ian Gary becoming Ian Machado Gary because I guess some of his wife's kids from the previous marriage to Machado, he wanted everybody to have the same last name. So that's kind of a nice sentiment and stuff like that. But it's also weird. There was talk about them still living with his wife's ex and
because his wife's ex is his nutritionist.
That's what it is.
And he travels with them.
And he made Ian a vegan when he's not himself a vegan. That's right. So that's kind of weird. But where this really all fell apart for Ian Gary was when he caught the attention of the much beloved and always level-headed Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland recorded a video sitting in his car just as a friendly, older peer mentor to Ian Gary, giving him some advice on in the polished, diplomatic way that only Sean Strickland can, that his wife is taking advantage of him and he needs to get out of the marriage or something like that. Yeah. Rather than kind of taking it as a joke and responding in stride, Ian got kind of butthurt about it and just very quickly went from, Irish hero to heel and everyone calling him a cuck and, just getting destroyed. And so it's going to be interesting to watch him fight Michael Page because MVP is so bombastic and like dancing around. And I mean, I remember one fight where I think it was in like Bellator or something where he like caught some guy with like a flying knee and basically turned whatever the bone is that makes up your forehead, part of your skull, into like creamy goo. I think he legitimately like cracked that. And the guy's like dying on the canvas and like his corner quickly hands him the like hat that Ash from Pokemon wears and a Pokeball, and he like rolls the Pokeball at this guy's lifeless corpse like he just knocked out a Pokemon and is now capturing it. So
I remember that.
It would be incredible to see something that meme worthy happen to Ian Gary.
Oh yeah, that'd be so cool. Dude, I didn't realize this. So MVP Michael Venom Page. Okay, very, very cool nickname. Only real thing I don't like about him is that he's from Great Britain, from the UK, and I just feel like we won that war, and I don't know why we still have to keep dealing with all these athletes from there. But I say that in jest. Some of my favorite athletes from there.
Gotta love Bisping and Tom Aspinall.
Bisping's amazing, and Aspinall's awesome, and a lot of tennis players from there that are pretty cool too. But he was in Bellator from 2014 to last year.
Yeah, he's probably the biggest name from Bellator since Michael Chandler that the UFC has signed.
And exactly. And the UFC signed him last year. How old is he? He's not young. He's 37. So the UFC signed him at 36, and the guy is like making main cards and making things happen. He beat Kevin Holland in the decision.
Dominantly.
Yeah.
But it was a very one-sided decision.
And as we know, Kevin Holland is a dog, certified dog. So
he'll fight anyone.
Yeah. So anyway, and the odds were near even. The odds maker saw that one near even, and then it just ended up being pretty dominant. I don't know. Can we find the scorecards for this?
I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
Yeah. They're not coming up when I click on it here, but but I mean yeah. So anyway, it's just kind of interesting. You gotta love the older guy, the vet, versus the young guy. The other thing that I was gonna hit on that you said was Gary kind of taken after the McGregor school, where he just always has something to say. He's trying to be an entertainer. He's trying to have the best and most furious comebacks. And when he got confronted about how, and by the way, about the wife and ex-husband who travels with him and everything, it says that it has been falsely claimed that they all live together, but Gary says that they don't. So that puts that to bed. They definitely don't all live together because he said they don't. But yeah, when he was confronted with all this stuff, it seems like it really got under his skin.
Is that like when John Jones hit that pregnant lady's car and?
Go ahead. You started down this road.
Or said he didn't take steroids, or the other 28 times that John Jones ruined UFC events and said he didn't do those things, and then he did do those things.
Yeah.
Or can we trust Ian? He's certainly no Yuri Prohashka.
I trust Yuri.
I don't think he could tell a lie. It would be against his code.
It would be against his code.
Whereas Ian's code, I don't know what Ian's code is, but
and Ian's been saying stuff coming up to this. Have you seen any of this?
Probably not. You are much more plugged into the social media MMA world. I get most of my MMA news from you outside of watching the fights.
Yeah, man, I need to find it now. I typed in Gary wrong, and so now I'm like really lagging here. But I saw somewhere where it said that Gary, yeah, he said, yeah. So listen, he just said this the other day on, I don't know what podcast it was, but he said, I'm just going to read it out. I'm looking at the 7 guys ahead of me. I deserve to fight one of those guys. I have no interest in fighting guys below me. I still have no interest in fighting Michael Venom Page. So this is the first time I'm stepping into an octagon with that championship mentality of I'm better than you. I'm going to prove it. And that is all my job is. And so if you're a coach, you hear that and you're like, hell yeah, that guy doesn't exist. Screw him. I'm going to walk all over him. As a fan, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh man, it's going to be so sweet when he loses.
Yeah,
and
I hope so.
Orbital bone gets turned to
and just because MVP is ranked number 14, that's just because his last fight was his first fight in the UFC. So
the UFC,
it's not like he could just be put in at the top of the rankings right to start. You know,
he beat Kevin Holland.
So it's not like he's fighting the number 15, who I don't know who it is right now. You know, but it's like not somebody that's in serious title contention. I mean, a couple things go MVP's way, and he could be at the top of the rankings very soon.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Kevin Holland was 15, and he got beat handily by MVP. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think Gary... I mean, again, if you're the guy's coach, you're like, yep, this is exactly what we want this guy to say.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, you're like, man, I hope this guy loses.
I'm going to look at who else is ahead of Ian. Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena, Colby, Shavkat, Blahal, Kamaru, and then Leon.
Middleweight, yeah. There.
So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to know. I feel like Ian hasn't been tested by somebody that just like a Gilbert Burns that really, you know, I mean, darn near beat Hamzat, or like, you know, Shavkat, or like somebody that's just truly a nightmare.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, if you put MVP up against like Buckley, MVP's gonna win that fight.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't think you can say, I don't know. Anyway. I don't know. I just don't think that Gary's out of his mind if he actually believes that. So,
yeah, but I mean, it's pretty fair to assume that he is in fact out of his mind. So he could believe anything. I mean,
great entertainer. Yeah. Got some cool. Anything else to cover in the main card there?
Not in my book. I mean, I think we hit on everything.
Chael put out a great video the other day about Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez, and just like he thinks that it's the most intriguing fight on the entire card, which I could definitely see there being an argument for, just because of the way that the guys have come up, and you know, there might be 2 people in the world who know more about the fight business than Chael Sonnen. So you know,
and they are Chael Sonnen's son.
And probably Dana White. So I don't know what you're talking about there.
I mean, no disrespect to Dana White, but we're talking about the Sonnen dynasty here.
Oh, I've got some notes at the bottom here. Another interesting thing is probably worth talking about right now. Dustin Poirier joining the broadcast booth for UFC 303.
Really?
As an analyst, yeah.
That is interesting.
Excited to see that. Wondering if that is the cement in the bricks that have been laid for the end of his career.
Uh-huh.
You know, he obviously got beaten badly and seems to think he doesn't have the hunger for it anymore or something like that. So, yeah. So I think he's gonna be a desk analyst up with Brendan Fitzgerald, Teddy Atlas, and the only Chael Sonnen. So get to see those guys up on the desk together. So that'll be cool.
That is cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, do we want to get into and pick a certified bloodbath contender?
Yeah, I think that we should. You're going to know more about this than I do, though. I just don't know these guys.
I feel like I know about it with certain people, but there's nobody on this card that's jumping out at me. Because my first instinct was to say that, like, Anthony Smith, Roman Dolidze could, but it could easily be a flash knockout, right?
True. Yeah,
it just ends with no cuts. But I feel like
that's more likely.
Smith has a lot of scar tissue in his face, and I could see that getting, rather bloody.
Bad cauliflower ears.
No, they're pristine, actually. And no, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, they're terrible. I completely forgotten that.
All right. But yeah, that's the only bloodbath that jumps out at me from the main card.
So I cheated and I got some summaries of these guys' fighting styles and tried to get a listing of their nicknames all in here and So the nicknames are probably what I'm going to pick most of these fights on.
Okay,
and
that's pretty reasonable.
You've got Joe Pyfer versus Marc-Andre Barrault. So Joe Pyfer's nickname is Body Bags with a Z.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Very cool. Very strong nickname. Rising prospect, aggressive striking and powerful finishes. I believe Verdict had him. Let me look this up as my dog tries to take my bed down. Prelims.
I'm scanning the nicknames here just to... Ooh. Well, I don't want to jump ahead, but I see a good one.
So, Body Bags has finished all but one of his fights. And 50% of the fights have ended with knockouts. So, I do think that he's a good striker. He's fought in the UFC for a while. Came up on the Contender Series.
Yeah, I've seen him fight.
2020, 2022, and then has some fight nights. He did... he fought in Pereira Adesanya 2 and won. Mm-hmm. And then he's also had a few submissions, so that could be a fun one. I'm actually interested to see if you pick him. He's the favorite, and the favorite method is actually knockout over decision. You don't see that often. So most popular global pick has been round 1 knockout for Joe. So that might not be a certified, bloodbath. Yeah.
Could be though. Body Bags is a great nickname. Makes me think of the Karate Kid. There's like the kid in the background. It's like, put him in a body bag. Yeah. And then the Impractical Jokers did.
Wow.
Put him in a Ziploc bag when he was. Anyway. But yeah, that's a good nickname. I'm looking at the other nicknames here. So I love that I'm looking at Verdict right now, the main card, and there are no nicknames above Myra Bueno Silva or Macy. Just nothing written at all. So that makes me love about 100 times more that above Diego Lopez's name there is N.A.
Yeah.
Which implies to me that Myra Bueno Silva does not have a nickname. Diego Lopez's nickname is N.A.
N.A. Or, like, Silva does not have a nickname yet. They've asked Diego what your nickname is, and he says, I'm not going to have one. This is not something that
he doesn't stand for that sort of thing.
He doesn't stand for that sort of thing. That's a great point. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one.
But anyway, yeah, so
I just want to see if the same is true on here.
Charles Jourdain, the Haitian sensation, that is an incredible nickname. And then Michelle Watterson, the Karate Hottie, that's a classic. She's been, a staple of the nickname Hall of Fame forever.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and the Savage, I like that.
Who's that?
That is
I'm looking.
Michelle's opponent.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, Gillian Robertson.
Gillian Robertson.
Okay, which one was jumping out to you?
For nicknames?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I thought you said one had jumped out to you.
It was the Haitian Sensation.
Oh, do you see Jean Silva's nickname?
I don't see that here, no.
Do you know what it is? Lord Assassin?
Lord Assassin. That's right up there with the Assassin Baby for me.
The Assassin Baby. Dude, Cub Killer Swanson is fighting. Do you remember Andre Feely?
Andre Touchy-Feely? That's also a good one. That's
exactly right. Great nickname. That's a good one.
That is a good one. I forgot what his nickname was until you pointed it out here. It's not in the document I'm looking at, but that is a great nickname.
Andre Touchy-Feely.
I don't know if I like Touchy or the Haitian Sensation more.
Should we patent another gimmick in our show and like crown the nickname? Yeah, top nicknames of the week. We thought of that. So yeah, so I feel like he probably wins top nickname of the week. Andre
Touchy-Feely. Yeah, I gotta agree with you.
Right?
It's more original than the Haitian Sensation, as wonderful as that is.
It is wonderful. The Haitian Sensation's amazing. The Desert Warrior, really great nickname. Air Jordan.
Shout out to our friend Rostine.
Yeah. Prince Rostine.
Who's the Desert Warrior?
That is...
I need to be looking at whatever document you're looking at.
I'm actually on Verdict right now.
Okay. I was earlier.
Verdict makes it a little easier. Let's see. What was I just looking at? Yeah, there he is. Giannis, how do you say that? Gamori? Giannis Gamori?
Okay.
Giannis, the Desert Warrior Gamori. From France, interestingly enough. But
known for their deserts.
From Climax Fight Academy. Yeah, fighting out of Lyon, France. At some point, we should like make our verdict picks before the show, and then just go through like who's gonna win and why we think they're gonna win.
Okay.
It'd just be funny because most of mine would be like, I like this guy's nickname a lot better. I just feel like he's not getting the best odds.
See, yours are even more scientific than mine, though. Mine was like, I like that guy. Or I feel like, I don't know either of these guys, and I feel like this guy. Whatever.
So, I feel like maybe that Joe Pyfer, Marc-Andre Baralt fight is our certified bloodbath. You can count on it. You heard it here first from the Fight Club Rejects podcast. That one's going to be bloody, folks. Make sure you're in your seat. That's going to be the last fight before the main card starts. You're going to be able to watch that on ESPN for free, as long as you have basic cable. And you're going to want to make sure you're there for that. So buckle up. And then nickname of the week, I think mine is Andre Touchy-Feely.
Touchy-Feely.
Although, man, I like body bags a lot too. So
yeah. Honorable mention to the Haitian Sensation for me, but I gotta go Touchy-Feely as well.
Any heels and heroes for this one?
I mean, in my mind, the heel of the card is Ian the Future Machado Gary. Wouldn't have been the heel too long ago, but my goodness, has he had a just incredible fall from grace. And if I had to pick a hero, as much as I like Alex Pereira, I gotta pick Yuri. I just feel like he, like you said, he's like a cartoon. He's a guy out of a comic book. He is on the spectrum probably, but you don't meet people like him. I mean, Alex is out there changing fans' tires and stuff like that. He's certainly
amazing.
Heroic too, but I just... Yuri and his code screaming into the night in front of the arena before he fights in it and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like people should know. Yeah, Yuri, and you mentioned aptly when we were talking about this earlier this week that if Yuri wins, then we get Pereiro Prohaska 3.
Exactly.
So
Pereira is just, he had his rivalry with Adesanya and stuff like that, but Adesanya is another one who I think has kind of quickly fallen from grace quite a bit, and people don't really care that much about it. I don't know that anybody wants to see an Adesanya Pereira MMA 3. I don't know that my take was that bad, but
tap water. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, they fought twice in kickboxing. They fought twice in MMA now. I don't think anyone wants to see a third MMA fight.
No.
Alex seems like he's moved on. He is freaking giant for 185 anyway, so I don't know if he wants to kill himself getting down there again.
No.
And so yeah, he needs a good rival. He's this crazy story that basically started MMA and won the belt faster than anybody ever. And he needs a good rival, fights? And I think Yuri is that guy.
Yeah, I think it was like 7 fights, right? To the belt.
It was very quick. Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, and I feel like Yuri could be that guy. I will say, ahead of this fight, I think that Yuri's going to get his clock cleaned. I think that Yuri's defense is, like, super weak. Although, he has to the untrained eye, my eyes are untrained, it looks like he has his guard down all the time. Mm-hmm. But I know that's a fighting style. I forget what that's called, but somebody was talking about it the other day. That it's like
he has kind of this, not like karate style exactly, but he's very unorthodox. He keeps his hands low and throws his jab from his hip and all these weird angles so you don't see it coming, and relies on kind of his movement and speed to get in and out and avoid shots. But Pereira is just such a good striker that it's a little bit scary, especially. So I was just watching Yuri's fight with Glover Teixeira, protege, or Alex Pereira's mentor. You know, he's kind of Glover's protege, and it was a great back and forth fight. Right, 5-round war. Yuri ended up submitting him in the 5th round, but the first couple rounds, Yuri was just piecing him up on the feet. You know, avoiding everything. And Glover, as great as he is at MMA, is not as good a striker as Alex. But even Glover started tagging Yuri and almost dropping him later in the fight once he got tired and could no longer rely on just that speed darting in and out to avoid shots because he didn't have his guard up, like you said. So I'm a little scared.
I am too, but the other part of it is the guy's got a freaking chin on him. So there is that as well.
He's got a chin. And I mean, at the end of the day, if Adesanya can knock Pereira out when he's swinging, then Yuri can certainly knock him out too.
Totally do it.
And like I said, he was pretty handily winning round 1 the first time they fought. It's just a question of, okay, he won for 5 minutes, but he either needs to knock him out or can he play that game for 25 minutes without Pereira landing a clean shot? Because if he lands one clean shot with those, Poatan hands of stone, you're donezo pretty much. There's not a man alive that he couldn't knock out with one punch.
I don't know, but...
except Chael Sonnen.
What if you've been beating yourself with poison ivy vines in the woods on 3-day silent? Did you see that he just got back from a 3-day silent or sensory deprived retreat?
Incredible. I did not, but I love it.
Oh, there's another great storyline to this fight. He was on Ariel Helwani's podcast today. Yuri was on Ariel Helwani's podcast today and was talking about how Alex is using a shaman to help him prepare for the fight, like mentally and spiritually. And I think the quote from Yuri was something like, "I don't need magic to prepare for my fights."
Okay.
And he's like, "I believe in God too, but like I don't need." He said magic. It was, it's that's great. English is his first language, but it was so good. It was just so good.
Also, to bring what you just said about not needing God back to clearly my favorite person in the fight game.
He doesn't need magic, is what he said.
He believes in God, but he doesn't need magic. But Chael Sonnen, bringing it back to him, of course, right, has famously said that because he's a famously devout Catholic Christian man.
Yep.
And he said something to the effect of that if I learned that God cared about a borderline illegal cage fight and was influencing the outcome, it would make me rethink my entire, faith, worldview, belief, whatever it was. God is probably, or magic in this case, is probably not
Magic probably does not care.
Basket in which one should put their eggs for this sport.
Negative. So I think that puts a nice little bow around UFC 303. I will say I have a few things here in wrap up to take what was a really serious conversation and add a little levity to it here as we close. So just some kind of like current events and trending things on social media right now. So that I'll share with you, and I'm gonna see if I can get the screen share to work here with the old Twitter machine. So what you're about to see here, I don't know if it'll share sound, to be honest with you. So we'll just see what happens.
We about to find out.
So let's see if you can hear this. So, okay.
I'm already excited.
So look at this. They show up to his gym. Can you hear this?
No.
So Raul's
Unfortunately not.
In the golf cart. The next one I'll just send to you, and we can press play together. So Raul's in the golf cart driving past these people lined up outside of his gym, screaming chewiwis at them. Look at this line.
That is
Look at this line of people going into his freaking gym.
Oh,
so,
man.
Anyway, I thought that
was
the
best MMA meme we've gotten in years.
It's so good. And I mean, just everything about it. The guy's face is so messed up. The way that he pronounces the word is incredible. Everything about it. Just incredible.
And we were there live and in person to witness it. It was wonderful.
I don't think that he'd mentioned it before, had he?
Chiwiwis? No, I think the genesis of it was right there in his spur of the moment win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just hit us with the
Chiwiwis. So, okay, here's the next one. Count it down. We'll press play at the same time. You're about to see this like 20, 25-year-old guy watch his girlfriend's dad play one of those, what do they call those? Like those punching machines where it will like tell how hard you punch.
Oh. The volume on Twitter is real loud for me.
A little too loud. Might want to turn that down.
I got it back at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so you're watching Dad hit and like look at the kid's face. This is so good. Look at his face.
My goodness.
He's like, wow, that's great. And then he sees him punch the next one, and the kid's like, I have to marry this girl now. I can never, ever break her heart.
Yeah.
It can never hurt her. Okay, I think I had... I don't think we should show that one on this podcast. I'll send that one to you another time. There's a saying in MMA about twisting, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, another big news update. Arman Tizkirgistan.
I did see this, actually.
Yeah, so he's been suspended 9 months for punching a fan during his UFC 300 walkout.
He really went after him.
He did.
I mean, it was just 0 to 100, like, boom.
Yeah, and he's going to be fined $25,000. Did you see the caveat about
how many Saryuki coins or whatever they use in his country is that?
It's going to be about $1 billion. The Saryuki coin is historically weak right now.
Oh man. Yeah,
Did you see
25,000 that could feed a village for 20 years or something. Where's he from? I feel bad now. Let's find out where Armin's from.
As you're looking that up,
Armenia. Armin from Armenia.
What do the Armenians use as a form of currency? Buttons?
I don't know.
It's like
Armenian
shirt buttons.
I'm going to go with Armeni Weenies is the name of their currency.
I thought there was something that we could do with weenies there, so I'm glad. The caveat is he can reduce his sentence from 9 to 6 months. Did you see this?
I did not.
And this is not a joke. He can reduce his sentence from 9 to 6 months if he films an anti-bullying PSA. So,
wow. Is that going to be played in Armenia?
I hope it's played at Fight Night.
Because right after he will get bullied mercilessly by his fellow Armenians if he does that. But yeah, that'd be kind of lame. I don't think Dana would play that during a live broadcast.
Hey, sir,
that's interesting. That sounds like some kind of BS that came from like the Athletic Commission, not the UFC. So
yeah, absolutely. Okay, last thing I got for you here. I think that I sent this to you earlier, but I think you and I are both going to watch it together if you've already seen it. And if you want, you can count it down. But I think that you just kind of let me know about when you're going to play it. I'll share the old screen here, and then everybody can see. Okay, you ready?
Oh, goodness. I'm ready.
All right. So this is... I don't know what promotion this was, but if you look at this guy's knee when he gets kicked, it is just like...
Oh my...
absolutely incredible.
Now, I'm not a doctor. Or a Pokemon master, for that matter. But, I mean... if MVP catches this guy, he's going to need to take him to a Pokemon Center and heal him up because he's not in fighting shape right now. Oh, look how he's sticking out.
Yeah, he's going to need to find a meditation pad and rest and heal, but restore all his enemies. So.
Oh, man. It's just playing over and over again on my computer here. I'm going to stop that now.
I want to turn that off. So... yeah, so, you know what, as a nice bonus, because we don't need audio on this, I'll just share my screen so you can see it. This is a great little teaser to leave everybody on. Obviously, we want to thank the viewers, because without you guys, this just, wouldn't be possible. We'd just be talking in the void to nobody. So thank you for tuning in today, but if this doesn't get you excited for UFC 303, just the intense stare downs between these two. Number 2 is going to be fun, I think. So, and both guys are on short notice, so I think that it's going to be pretty even fight. They've had a couple weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, both of them are the type of guys that they are always in the gym and in shape. So
yeah,
it'll be good.
Cool.
The Samurai Warrior versus the Amazon
Princess. Warrior.
The Amazon Princess. Oh, man.
Well, we did it. That's episode 1.
I'm going to tell Priera you said that.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.